This video is only for very, very spiritually mature people. I met Saturn in the spiritual world. And Saturn was like a person, but Saturn was red. And the attire that Saturn wore looked like the attire that Chinese fighters used to wear, like with the face mask and everything. You can't see who's inside, but it's red. And he's very, 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 very big and very stoic. Initially, when I met Saturn, I tried to kill him because that's my defense mechanism in the spirit world. Sometimes I have swords. Just a disclosure, I don't actually see all the way through taking somebody out, or I'll rebuke it before it happens. But that is my defense mechanism. But you do not want to fight in the spiritual world if you're not called for that. You do not want to do that, like physical fighting in the spiritual world at all, if that's not what you have authority in the spiritual world to do. But vengeance is the Lord's. Just FYI, I say that every time I'm almost about to react, I stop myself and I say, vengeance is the Lord's, vengeance is my Father's, vengeance is God's. But I was told that I couldn't, and he was very important. And he didn't even flinch. Like, he was like, you can't do it even if you wanted to. He didn't say it, but that was like the stance that he gave. Saturn did not talk. And the reason that I tried to hurt Saturn, because I remember that song, Life Better on Saturn, got to break this pattern. And so I remember hearing something, and me not knowing, I just assumed Saturn was what keeps you in the loop, in the pattern. So I did some research on Saturn. Saturn is the sixth planet from the sun, famous for its ring, massive gravity. Saturn slows things down. It pushes, it compresses, it makes things real. Time, weight, gravity, limitations. Saturn is a teacher, judge, builder. Saturn represents discipline, responsibilities, boundaries, karma, consequences, maturity, structure, fear, mastery. Saturn asks, can you handle reality? Every 29 to 30 years, Saturn returns to where it was born. This often brings life reconstructing, loss or ending, career shifting, spiritual awakenings, forced growth. People say Saturn doesn't punish, it reveals. Saturn as time, it is father time, chronos, Greek, the devourer of youth, the force that ages, limits, and tests. Time is neutral, but not forgiving. Saturn says, what you avoid today, you will pay for later. Saturn is the Roman god of agriculture, order, and cycle, ruled the golden age of peace, associated with harvest, reaping what you sow, overthrown by his son, Jupiter. Saturn was not originally evil. He represents natural law and cycles. Harvest equals reward and loss. Saturn lives inside of your mind as the inner critic, voice of authority, fear of failure, self-discipline, delayed gratitude. Its heavy traits are self-respect, boundaries, patience, and wisdom. Its unhealthy traits are shame, depression, harsh judgment, feeling trapped. In modern symbolic interpretation, Saturn represents governments, institutions, rules, law, prisons, capitalism, schedules, social hierarchies. Not inherited evil, but restrictive. Saturn energy asks, who is in control, you or the system? Saturn rules Capricorn, symbolized by the mountain goat. Why? Slow climbs, harsh terrains, long-term success, no shortcuts. Saturn's success is earned, not gifted. Saturn is seen as the veil of material reality, the boundaries between spirit and matter, the matrix of time formed and limitation. Saturn represents the illusion of separation, the test before spiritual liberation, the final gatekeeper of ego. Saturn asks, can you remember who you are while being human? And biblical symbolization, Saturn is law versus grace, flesh versus spirit, old covenant versus new consciousness. Saturn is law. Christ consciousness is transcending of law through love, not enemies, stages. Saturn is not evil, it's a mirror. This is key. Saturn does not attack, it reflects. So Saturn is not evil, it is a mirror. This is key. Saturn does not attack, it reflects. If you avoid responsibility, Saturn feels cruel. If you accept discipline, Saturn becomes wisdom. Saturn says, grow up so you can be free.